to my crafting world. Guys, I wanted to share with you my French fry box Dex card. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't know why last night I couldn't sleep, and I don't know why this came to my head. This is my French fry box memory Dex card. So this is my prototype, guys. This is my prototype, and yeah, so it just all of a sudden here I am. So let me show you what I've done. The back is it's all solid pink, and on the front I used the Jane's Memoirs paper that I got from in my design team package a few packages ago, and I just put a couple of enamel dots, some pink flowers, a leaf, this tiny little bow, and a 3-loop ribbon bow on the top. And I thought, well, hey, let's fill it up. So I couldn't decide which paper I was going to use, so I made a couple of tags for my French fry box. There are my tags, and the back the back also has some of the paper. This paper is from the Lady Vagabond. And on this one, I didn't want to, like embellish anything real heavily, just because I didn't want it to get too bulky. I can make it thicker. This is only 1/4 of an inch thick. I can make it thicker. I just have to work with the measurements a little bit more. And I couldn't find one on the internet anywhere, because I thought, well, maybe, if I watch a video, it'll help me, figure out measurements, but I couldn't find one. And then I put this little clothespin with a key on there. Again, this one was going to be part of the Lady Vagabond, and then I changed my mind. So I made a little package with flowers in it to put in the fry box, and I made a little topper and I decorated it, and then I made some bows and I put them in here just like we would put in a swap, and I decorated it. And this is my little fry box memory Dex card. Oh my goodness, how's that guys? How did I do? That's like I said, I could make it thicker, but I thought this was a good size. So yeah, there we go, guys. It's really not that difficult. It does have the front part has a couple more steps than the back part, but it is fairly simple to make, and I just love how it turned out. Look at that. You have your extras in there, whatever you're gonna send your partner, and a couple of tags. There we go. How's that? How is that? That is so cute. And then my clothespin with the key on it. There we go. And I didn't make anything too bulky, because I didn't want it to come out or bow out, and I think it was just the right size. I love it. And then of course your information can go on the back, or you can put it on a you can put a little envelope in there with your information on there. But look at how cute is that. I just love it, guys. I was just, hopefully I can sleep better tonight, because this is made. All right, guys, let me show you what you are going to need if you are going to make one of these. I love it. So for today's tutorial, our project, I am using Jane's Memoirs for the fry box memory Dex card. So actually, and I'm just using scraps. I'm not cutting into a whole new sheet. I'm just using scraps because I only need a couple of pieces. All right, so this is what you would need for, and this is my prototype. This is what you will need for the fry box memory Dex card. We're going to work on the bottom first. So for that, you need a 4 by 4.5 piece of cardstock. Okay, we need to do a little bit of measuring and a little bit of cutting. You are going to measure 7/8 of an inch from the top and put a little mark right there. This is 7/8, and you're going to do the same on this side. 7/8 of an inch, put a little mark. After you put your 7/8 of an inch mark right there, you're going to come down and you're going to mark at 1/2 inch on the bottom. So from the inside, 1/2 inch, you put a little mark, and then you come over here, 1/2 inch, you put another little mark, and then you join the 7/8 of an inch from the top and the 1/2 inch from the bottom, and you draw a line down. And then you do the same on this side, draw a line down. And then before you cut that, go ahead and get your either a salad plate or just something round. I'm using this cookie tin, and what I did was I put my pencil on this very first mark right here. Okay, and then I put my tin down, and then I traced from that one little mark all the way to the other side. So there's my tin, and I lined it up with the other mark on the other side. Now I'm going to draw a line around the tin from one side to the other. So after you have your lines put in, I go ahead and I cut out my my bottom part, because it's easier to line up before you cut it and try to figure out where the center is and all that stuff. So since it's 4 inches, I'll just go ahead and cut it out, and then we go ahead and cut out on those lines that we just made. So let me cut those out. Okay, and there is the back of our Dex card. I'm going to erase all my lines here, and that is the back of our Dex card. Now I am going to go ahead and this is my paper that I'm going to put on here. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to trace, it's the same size, 4 by 4.5. And I'm just going to trace just so I don't have to cut everything all over again. But I am going to go ahead and punch out the bottom of this one as well. And now I'm going to trace this. I'm going to line this up. Okay, and I'm just going to trace onto my pattern paper. And I'm going to cut out the trace line. I'm actually going to cut a little bit inside the line so I can have a little bit of a border. And I'm okay with that. Okay, that's what we're going to do for the back. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto my base. All right, guys, that's the back part. Now we're going to work on this part right here. For that, you need a 3.5 by 5 piece of cardstock. This requires a little bit more work. So on the 3.5 by 5, you're going to mark like you did the first. Okay, so this is going to be a 1/2 inch right there. So put your ruler there, put a little mark on 1/2 inch, put your ruler, put another mark at 1/2 inch, and then you're gonna connect that 1/2 inch right here to this top corner, and you're gonna draw a line up. And then again, that 1/2 inch to the top corner, you draw your line. We're going to cut that out. All right, now we're going to have to score this paper or cardstock. Remember to use 110-pound cardstock. So we're going to take our scoreboard, and we have to score on 3 sides. We're going to score twice on each side. So I'm going to line my paper up on that 5, on the groove for the 5, right there, and right there. Okay, so that gives us a straight line. Now I'm going to score at 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to score at 1/4 of an inch again. That gives us 2 score lines that are nice and straight. We're going to do the same for the bottom. I've lined it up with the groove for the 5 inch. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to score at 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to score at the next 1/4 of an inch. And then again, we're doing the same for the 3rd side. Lining it up on the 5. Of course, you use whatever number you feel comfortable using. So I will score right here the first 1/4 of an inch. And this is the next one, so I will score at the next one. And that's all the scoring we need to do. Now we need to make our little dip. So we get our little can again. And we start at the 2nd score line right here. And we're going to put our can, plate, whatever you have, and we're going to put a mark all the way to the next, to this 2nd score line from the bottom. So right there, and right there it matches from one side to the other. I hope this is making sense, guys. So that is what we need to do for the top part. So we're gonna do some cutting. We're going to cut this out, and then we'll take care of the bottom. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of cutting here. So we are going to cut the first and second score line. First, second, and I'll do the same over here on this side, just so, there we go. And then we are going to cut out the outer 3 squares. This one, and this one. So let's cut these off completely. And then this first bottom square off. And then I'm going to go ahead and angle cut this so it doesn't get stuck anywhere. Make sure none of my score line is in there. But we need that little tab right there. So we cut this one off completely. Cut this one off at the bottom and angle that a little bit. And then angle this a little bit. Okay, that's going to help us stay straight on our folding and gluing. Okay, now we can go ahead, and I had already cut out my piece, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that on there. And all I did was I followed the same process as when I was making this one. Followed the same process, and I actually took my pink piece that came out of here, and I just put it on the pattern paper this way. And yes, it'll extend over a little bit, but just, you know, hold them even to where you get a little bit on each side right there, and then just trace it on this side, and you get the correct cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this on here because it is easier. All right, now let's fold and burnish. Okay, my pieces are burnished. Now right here, guys, what I did was take my scissors and I just cut an angle just inside that, just inside this curve, so it's not so noticeable, but I didn't go past the first outer score mark. So that helps hide that a little bit. So I'm going to do the same over here. From this corner inward to where it doesn't show, it really doesn't show that much. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to glue down these little tabs. and put a little bit of glue on there, fold them, and just make sure that these little glue tabs form a nice square at the bottom here. See where they meet? You want to form a nice square. And I'm going to get my tool here and just hold it down so it could adhere, because that's what's going to keep this edge straight. I'm going to do the same on this side. Put just a little dab of glue. Make sure it's nice and square. Making sure it's square from the bottom. Those little tabs are glued in. So now we are going to glue these at the bottom. So I'm putting in just a little bit of glue right here, a little glue right there. Looking at my sides, make sure that my sides are nice and straight. All right, guys, there is the front side. Now to glue these down, I'm going to put glue on the back of this, of my tabs here. And I am going to line these corners right here. So I'm lining up these corners to these corners on the backing, okay? So our fry box is gonna come together like that, okay? So let me glue that down. And yeah, you will get a little bit of overhang right here, but I didn't feel like dealing with 1/8 of an inch, so I left it alone. Because I had to figure this out on my own, guys, because I didn't see any videos out there. So let me put some glue on here. Let me go ahead and line these up. This is one side. This is the other side. And I think that's pretty straight. So I'm going to take my ruler because it's flatter. And I'm going to push down on those tabs with my ruler. Okay, guys, there we go. Now I know you can't tell very well, but it's adhered very well. All that's left to do is embellish it, and it's that simple, guys. It is so cute. I just love how it turned out. Then of course you can put your information on the back. It is so adorable, and it's that simple. And again, this is something else you can use your scraps on. So there we go, guys. I hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will talk to everyone later. You have a great day. Thanks a lot, guys.